Yo, what's going on, guys? How's it going? It's Tyler here, and today this is something that's awkward. Okay, weird. No, today I'm going to be drawing. I'm going to be drawing here on my phone. Now, I do this pretty regularly. I have a few pieces that I've done that I've sold and whatnot that I've done completely on my phone, and that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm not going to waste too much time because I don't want to take too much of your time doing this because obviously anything art related could drag on and on and on. But I usually can do sketches and whatnot pretty fairly quick. But I don't really have a base plan of what I'm going for. So we're just gonna start out and see where we go. Now, one thing I am pretty decent at is trees. Now, not many trees. I'm usually good at the focus point tree. So like the main tree that's gonna stand out that you're gonna kind of see like this right here. That's usually the tree that I can do the most on, get the most detail out of. And then past that, if I try to do like a cluster of trees or whatnot, there's only going to be one that looks normal. So that's usually how that goes. So I usually try to do maybe one tree as the focus point, and then if I do any other trees, I do try to keep them as simple as possible. Just so if I want, say, like a cluster, if I want like a forest or something like that, I can just easily repeat the process. So that's usually what I do. So as you see here, I'm just going in, and this is kind of how I do my trees. This is my method. This is many years of me just drawing trees or kind of sketching and doing this motion right here, and it leading up and eventually over the years turned out to kind of look like a tree. And then obviously, the more you do it, the more you can kind of understand the anatomy of a tree and kind of get the curvature of different angles and understand different barks and vines and shadows and everything like that. And then you can eventually just start intertwining it all, and that's how you get your nature. Yep. So there are points in the time, or kind of like what you're seeing me do, or seeing me do now. As you saw me kind of go all the way across pretty simply, and then I skipped a point. There are portions and angles and whatnot that are easier to kind of just get over with, and then you can come back through and kind of fill in the blanks. If you try to do it all at once and in a line, sometimes you can just start making it look sloppy. So I do know we are switching angles here going around the tree, so I kind of want to get those shadows and whatnot in the works before I try to work everything else in. So that's what I'm doing now, and I do know this is going to be a little bit darker up here. Let's go ahead and get that, shade that a little bit, and let's get in here and fill this in. Alright, we do want it to be a little bit darker because this is getting to the base, so that is going to be where all your main shadows are going to be, because the leaves, man, the leaves and all the extra angles of the tree and whatnot hit the bottom of the tree, hit the trunk. And so it causes some of the heaviest shadows. So we're going to go ahead and get some of that down here. Now, it would be a lot easier if I had maybe like a which I can turn it on. It's an option. But if you guys saw a little more of the cursor of where my pen is, I guess that would probably be a little more helpful. But at the same time, I'm doing this very quick, a very rapid sketch form, I guess. Yeah, you're even if there was a cursor there that you could see, it would be just jittering all over the place. So I don't know. It may not be helpful after all, but it may. It may. I may try turning it on next video if you guys really, especially if I'm doing like a painting, like a true painting. You guys may want to see where I'm pressing down at. But for right now, we're gonna continue up the base here, get a little more defining shadows back there just to show the angles, that it's not just going straight up. It does have curvature and whatnot. put a little bit of more shadow on this side, because again, we're on the back side of the tree here. And let's focus all of that in there and kind of just twirl it around. Just work it all in there. Closing in on it. Getting that nice little bark look. There we go. Alright, nice little shadow to it all. Let's get a little more defining to all of this. Alright. Sweet. Good deal. Good deal. Let's get a little bit more shadow there. A bit more shadow there. Down here, we definitely want more shadow at the base. Right. Looks like we're getting in there good. Especially right here at the core base. Get in there. Alright. So we're going to leave it at that. Alright. A little more up here. Just define it. A little more is what's there. Alright. So we have sort of a tree. Sort of a tree, right? Right? I mean, you can see where I'm going with it, right? So we have somewhat of a tree here. And especially if I added color and whatnot, we would fully get in there. So that's usually where I get my focus point from. I usually do kind of like your corner tree like this, and get as much detail as I want out of it. If I want little cubbies or whatnot, if I want to make the roots, you know, open up or whatnot and have like a little walkthrough, I can do that. But I usually start at this. This is usually my starting point. Now, a lot of times I will say you can have this corner right here being like your entrance to your view of things. So let's go ahead and do that and form that. And what this is we're going to make this ground. This is ground. But we want it to be level, which I'm failing to do, so we keep going further out. But maybe here eventually I can get it to where I want it to be. But get it like this a little bit, and yeah. So, and it's actually good we have this because we'll use this as kind of an angle point. And what we can do here is kind of stretch this inward, get a little bit of light shadow there. And then on this side, we can get a little bit more of a darker shadow. Just trailing along. Alright, we got us a nice little walkway going here. Within the walkway, we do want some grass. Just focusing itself out there. So we're going to do a little bit of jaggedness. And what this is just going to stand in for some grass. Now again, if I went back through with color and like individually colored these little scratch marks, say like a lighter green than the grass that I'm using, it would stand out. You would be able to see these individual little spikes that I'm doing here. And so that's why it's always good to play around with, maybe your drawing isn't always meant to be a sketch. Maybe you should play around with some color, and maybe you can get a lot more things to pop that you were kind of just thinking as little clever details. You know, if somebody really looks at it, they may be able to catch it. But a lot of the times you can really get it to pop and truly impress people. Just the more steps you take, the little bits of effort you do put into your piece, a lot of the times you can get a massive response from that little bit of effort. Ooh, I almost pulled everything down there. That would have been not too good. Alright, so let's go ahead and get a little more shadow in there, just separating all of this, letting the eye know that this is kind of off to the side here. Right. If you can't really see, I'm shading the base of the tree a little more. That's what I'm doing there. Alright. And so let's go ahead and grass off the edge of the road there. And So from here, you can do a lot of things. So we do have a road. Man, my instincts is like, man, go brick. You can do a brick road. Which if you don't know me, that's one of my weaknesses. I love the brick texture. Let's go ahead and get a little more shadow on the tree. Again, just showing that the tree is here, separating it from that road there. Right. Perfect. But we're not going to sit here and contemplate because, you know, it's a YouTube video. We're not going to put too much thought into it. So I'm going to head and darken that out because this is going to be our next focus point. We have our road here. Let's go ahead and get this a little bit marked out there. Megabob, beep. Megabob, beep. Megabob, beep. There we go. Alright. So, sweet. Get a little more shading in there. And, alright. Sweet. And sweet. So we have another focus point, which is going to be that whole backside back there. You could put, say, like a fence along this edge. Again, I'm wanting to do bricks, but we're not going to do that. So let's just do a little bit number of this, just for an example of something. This is just little quick sketch concept arts of what could be. So what you could start doing is, like I said, do a little fence action. And so we're just going to do an example of a little fence. I say little fence, but this bad boy is dragging. And it's going on and on and on. There we go. Alright. So just imagine that's a decent fence. We'll go ahead and add an extra little postage note here. And we'll go ahead and define the bottom of the posts a little more just to show that they go to the ground. Right. I'm not trying to make it fancy. I'm not trying to really make anything. The tree is pretty much just all I was wanting to show in this video. Just show you guys kind of how I start most of my drawings is that tree. And then I go from there. So we do have a little fence going. I guess you could see that it's a fence. And what you could do after that is put a little, like you can do some hills. Do some hills over there. Because they are aligned with the sound of music. And we'll go ahead and do this little number. There we go. So we do have our hillage popping off over there. Alright. And let's go ahead and get a little bit of shading going on just right there at the base of it. Not too much because we're not trying to blend in our fence. Or have our fence blend in. So go ahead and define it a little more. There we go. And let's shade the side of it. There we go. Alright. Got us a little hill there. And what we really can do here is go ahead and top it off since we are doing something simple. And let's add our sun. Now, the perfect circle is hard to come across. Many years of just sketching, you realize if you go really light with it, you can get a lot of tries out of it. Until you finally get kind of a defined circle. Now I'm kind of failing at it because I can't really get the angles because of just how everything's set up here. But it's there, you know. It's and why I'm shading the sun. Don't ask me, you know. But sun's the last thing you need to shade. But no, just to define it a little more, just to show the sphericalness. Yep, that's a word. But yeah, so we'll get that in there and just show that that's there. And hey, it could have even been a moon. I don't know. You can shade the moon. That boy goes through cycles of being shady. Alright, so we got the moon, got the sun, whatever it may be. You could do something fancy and just start, you know, just branching off of it and do your little sun rays, just get a little artsy with it. Again, if you're playing with color, you can do a lot of things with the sun rays, maybe make them a whole bunch of different colors and whatnot. And let's go ahead and shade this over here a little bit more. Just got to stay true to the artistic side of things and really see where it needs to be touched up. So you can't really see too much, but I think that's a picture. I think that's a picture right there. Now, no artist can finish a picture without a signature, so we'll go ahead and sign it. There we go. And this was 2023. There we go. And that's pretty much how I start all of my pictures, again, with this little tree over here. And then I go from that. Sometimes you will see the leaves, sometimes you will see the entire tree for its glory standingness, but most of the time it's just off in the corner, tucked away, and just a focus point of everything. So yeah, this was me drawing. Now if you want to find any of my drawings or anything like that, you can search around. Oh wow. I did knock my phone off that time. You can search around and try to find Stubby Snacks Art Shack. That is what I go by to make any commissioned sales. But yes, this right now, I'm going to call this Pondering Dawn. Pondering Dawn. That's what I'll call it. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you take something from it. Again, this is just a really quick sketch just to show you that just scribbles can make something. So don't be discouraged if, oh, I can barely draw a stick figure. Well, make that stick figure just jitter across the screen a little bit more, and maybe you'll find yourself drawing a tree. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy. Hope you take something from it. I know the proportions and everything are off and whatnot, but just look at it as with a kaleidoscope, and maybe you'll see what I'm seeing. But that's part of art. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Take something from it. Be inspired by it. Make something today, big or small. Just apply something. And but yeah, this was Tyler. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you want to see more of these, drop a like, hit that bell notification just so you get notified every single time I post a video. And I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great one. Peace.